morning. It's Lisa with Lisa Heal Yourself, and today I want to talk about isolation in illness. Somebody asked me a question yesterday, and I want to take the time to answer it here because I think it's an important question. And maybe I'm not getting the question exactly right, but here's what I remember. The question said, did your family walk through you, your family and friends walk with you through this healing process? This journey that you've been on, because mine aren't walking with me. I'm completely alone and isolated. And maybe that's why I can't heal. Maybe that's why I'm going to have a harder time healing. So I want to just really reflect on this question. Let me start by saying yes and no to that question. Here's first what I think that the person is asking me underneath that question. The question might be deeper than that. The question might be, will I heal? Will I heal too? Right? There's a quiet desperation in that question. Will I heal? She's waiting for my answer, and if I say yes, my family walked with me through this. My family and friends walked with me through this. She can say, that's why I can't heal. That's why I'm doomed. That's why I'll never be able to heal, because I'm alone and isolated. But if I say, no, they didn't, she'll say, well then maybe that's why I'm different. I'll never be able to heal because I'm different. Or maybe I will be able to heal because you did. So maybe I will be able to. So this question is more than just a question. It's an asking. It's an asking, will I heal too? Right? And it's a hope. There's hope in that question. Please tell me what I need to hear in order so that I can frame it around my own life and say, yes. If she wants to be a victim right now, then she'll say, yes, well, that's why I cannot heal. If she wants to rise up, she can use my answer to say, maybe I can heal. So it's weird the way questions work like that. And it's also even more interestingly weird the way the answers work. So let me give my answer then. Was my family and friends walking with me during this whole downfall of my life and through the worst of it and through the healing and on this journey? Right? So the answer is very interesting, because even asking me that question a year ago, I would have said no, absolutely not. I was 100% alone and abandoned all by myself. Is this actually true? No. My husband stayed. My children were there. My father was there. But they weren't with me. They were there, but they weren't there. And that's why people in illness, in chronic illness or in chronic pain, feel so alone. It doesn't matter who is there and who is not there. It's like you're living in a cage, trapped. You cannot see out. You're in a jail. The lights are off. You're in a room, in a house with other people, but the door is locked. The lights are out. There might as well be no one home. Is there a world around you? Is there a neighborhood out there? Yes, but they don't know you're locked in there. The world, the sun is shining. Neighbors are talking. Friends, old relatives, acquaintances, people are out there living their lives. Well, you are locked in a dark room in your home. So are you abandoned? Yes. Yes, you're completely alone and completely abandoned. Even though you may have people in your house. Even though those same people and friends and relatives are out there. They can't call you. There's no phone in that room. So I was abandoned in the sense that I lost everything, and I lost everyone. I lost all of my friends, I lost my social life, I lost my relatives, I lost my extended family, I lost even those closest to me. I felt like I had been 100% completely abandoned, like nobody cared, nobody understood, nobody could reach in and save me, and nobody wanted to. Nobody wanted to know. People don't want to know the darkness, and they don't want to know the suffering. They don't want to know that you're locked in a room with the lights out and the door shut, starving, hopeless, dying, while they continue to live their life. So they abandon you not because they want to, but because they can't be there with you. And even if they could open the door, they couldn't pull you out. So they don't call. They turn away to save themselves. They also feel, and this I more recently learned this, that you abandon them. You know, you stopped calling. You didn't let them in anymore. You didn't need them. You were not the same person anymore. There you were once, a radiant, beautiful, positive, amazing friend, relative, family member, cherished person, and then, just like that, you were gone. They didn't know why. They could never imagine why. And so you were gone from them, from their lives. You hurt them. Maybe that's what they think in their mind. You abandoned them. You cut off contact with them. And then our mind says, but aren't I the victim? Aren't I the one that was hurt? Shouldn't they know better? Shouldn't they reach their hand out? Yes and no. Would it have helped? So yes, I was completely 100% abandoned and alone. Even though my children and husband still lived in the same house, I did stop talking to all my friends. I stopped going out on any social. I couldn't be part of society. I couldn't relate to neighbors anymore, to acquaintances. I didn't feel like I belonged even with the human race. I was so abandoned, and I was so fragmented. My parts completely broken, that I didn't even relate to being human anymore. So yes, I was isolated. I hid. When I was forced to come into contact with people, acquaintances, or my children's teachers, or extended family members, I was quiet. I was reserved. I wore a mask. Everything's fine. I am separate. Don't talk. Don't ask. I was cut off from them, just like I felt they were cut off from me. I couldn't talk about it. I didn't want to talk about it. And even though I longed to talk about it, I still wore the mask because the mask was protecting me from feeling even more abandoned. What if I share my deepest, darkest soul with you and you walk away again? You don't know how to handle it. You don't know how to take it. You don't know how to help me. You don't know how to save me. Then what? Then what? And I didn't want to know the answer to that. So I wore the mask. I'm fine. I'm brave. I'm strong. I'm a warrior. We don't talk about this. This is the secret that we don't utter. Because I had children, I had to keep it from them. Shh. Don't talk about it around the kids. Don't mention it. It was a safely guarded secret. Mummy's in pain. Mummy's sick. Something happened to Mummy. Don't talk about it around my kids. It was my coveted secret, my coveted. I would have gone to the mat to save my kids from knowing, and I did. But because of that, I locked myself even deeper into the room. I turned the lights even blacker. I was alone. I was isolated. I was abandoned. The funny thing is that as I healed, I started to look around and notice those same people were still there. They didn't go anywhere. When I could feel a little joy and I had a smile or a laugh with them, they were still the same. But suddenly they felt like I was back. I had come back. They were always there, waiting. I could have called them at any point. I could have reached out. I could have went out. I could have joined the parties, joined the social gatherings. I could have bared my soul, but I chose not to. That is also part of our own caging. So that question is an important question to answer. The question that she asked was, will I heal? Will I heal? Even though she asked it in such a way as, were your family and friends there? I'm isolated, so maybe that's why I can't heal. So I hope that answers her question and your question and anyone's question about the pain and the suffering of isolation. That is real, not real. That is self-imposed and not at all self-imposed. When you suffer alone, no matter whether you are in the middle of a room filled with people or alone on the deepest, darkest, most remote island. You're in the cage and you can't get out. And it takes you a while to realize that maybe there isn't even a lock. Maybe you can walk out, and when you do, the world is still the same. The sun is still shining. People are still walking by in your neighborhoods, your communities. Smiles are there to greet you. Hands are there to shake. People are there to love you. Pick up the phone. And people are there to be your friend if you're brave enough to hand them your heart or your soul, or to trust or to open. But when you begin to open, you can begin to walk away from the isolation. I understand why you're closed. It's scary when you're suffering or when you're in pain, when you are sick, and it's been so long. You mistrust, you distrust, and your survival means protecting your heart and your soul from everyone and everything. So that's a necessary part of the healing, and you will heal. You will heal. And when you do, you will need to be brave to walk out into the world and to reconnect, to open, to expand, rather than to close and continue to shut down. For that's the only way we grow back into our real humanness, our real connection, our real love, our real true self, and our new identities. So I hope this has been helpful, and I'll see you in the next video.